Hey, Hein, day 8. We're back in the comms box. It's Nat Wickham and Hein from South Africa here calling the Australia Under-19, the South Africa Under-19 game, playing off for a place in the gold medal playoff. The winner of this game goes into the gold medal playoff and the loser goes into the bronze medal playoff. Hein, how are you feeling backing up your girls here?
Yeah, no, I feel nervous. Obviously, I've got an Australian shirt from Sandra, but I won't wear it in this match, Natalie. I'll wear my South African shirt and support our girls. Yeah,
I'd be a bit disappointed if you did put the Australian shirt on, Hein. I want to see, we've got a bit of, rivalry here. We've got, I'll be, of course, hoping the Australian women go well and you'll be hoping the South African women do well. But, of course, we're going to provide a pretty even style of commentary, I would hope.
Yeah, definitely. With a lot of supporters, obviously being in their hometown, Australia has packed the pavilion and it looks good as we get the kick-off here, Natalie.
Yeah, great. So we've got the Australians in black in their 1- and 2-piece bathers with the green bathers, and South Africa in white in their like a bluey grey coloured bathers there, going from left to right. So already the Australians making a drive and taking it to the wall, making a really good push up underneath the sub bench there into the corner. So they'll be happy that they've got it straight up onto the defence of South Africa.
Yeah, now with South Africa sitting out will be Krizaan Smith. And the other goal sitting out will be Sky Boshoff. The people watching at home, so you know who's sitting out, but their hearts are on their water and their spirits are on their water, even though we can only have 10 players. So that's why the 2 girls need to sit out as Australia are hard in the attack here, right in front of the face of the South African goal box. And South Africa need to swim out to the far side here, protecting the puck. Good possession there by Australia. And we've had 1 minute go without infringement so far. Good player.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I called a game earlier and it was France-Australia in the under-23 women. I don't want to concentrate on the negative or focus on the negative, but France, you need a good smack. It was 19 minutes in the sin bin in that game, and that was a playoff, for 6th and 7th, I think it was. No, 5th and 6th. You can't afford to do that in finals.
Yeah, never too big. No player actually wants to sit in the sin bin. It puts a lot of pressure on the other players. The guy said, they'll get extra cameras in for the finals, but the visibility is still excellent here with South Africa playing up on the far side of the wall. We're so grateful to this fantastic facility and obviously sponsors that are supporting this game like Hydro Underwater Hockey with $550, Natalie. That brought a different level to underwater hockey. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and if you look at that above vision there that you saw the 2 cameras in water in the middle, streaming the vision to you, 2 corners in the camera, 2 on the pool deck, and there we go, Jack setting up those 2 there. But with this, because we've shut down the other court, you see they've already put the lane ropes in. Caitlin's out. And so we're in one court, and those cameras from the other court will be being set up ready for play later today or even tomorrow. So it's going to be hard for our mixer, who's at the moment is mixing between 6 cameras. Good old Harry, he'll probably be mixing between 8 or 9, I'm not sure, but the vision is only going to get better into the finals.
Yeah, no, Natalie, and South Africa, this has been a tight contest. They've played a double round robin, and South Africa winning the first one 1-0 and drawing the second one 1-1. So you can imagine this game is not going to be easy for any one of them. And they know that this is very important, as Natalie said. The winner goes to play for gold and the loser goes to play for bronze. South Africa being second on the log, Australia being third on the log. South Africa, though, only conceding 7 goals and Australia 20 goals. So that could be a difference.
Yeah, and they would have looked at those statistics, I'm sure, before the game. And they know that they have to get it on the back line of the Australians' back line because obviously they've conceded more goals. That's their weak spot. But obviously they're also quite dynamic in attack. So I'm just going to quickly call through the Australian women's team as the play goes on to the other side. There's been an infringement called, an equal puck. I love seeing an equal puck, I think. Number 1, Samantha Blackham. 3, Ella Croft. 4, Captain Natalie Iredale. 5, Emma Horak. Madeline Laurie is out. Number 6, Lily Ladd McGovern. Number 7, Jessica Cohen. 8, Gabrielle Larson. Number 9, Love Your Style, Gabby. Caitlin Parr is out. Annika Keel is 11. Maggie Biffin, we love Mag. We love you going the Biff. VC 12 and Katarina Alleyway, number 13, with the 2 Chris's as coaches.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie. So everybody is obviously sitting on the edges of their chairs here because it's a vital game. And South Africa being the defending gold medalist, so they're playing for pride. And Australia with the previous Worlds in Castellon, they ended 7th. But this is a very tight competition. A much better composure of the Australian team, a much better posture as you see the Australian teams coming down hard on the South Africans. and trying to get the puck movement. As we have 4 minutes gone in the first half, and it doesn't feel like it, Natalie.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been bashing of heads, bashing of sticks, bashing of gloves. They just seem to be coming up against, but each team seems to be coming up against a wall. So it's good to see the Australians opening it up. She got drawn into the centre a little bit, probably too early from the pressure of South Africa, and there's been an infringement called. A little bit of love. So back for Australia, and South Africa to get a chance to set up right in front of goals.
Yeah, no, South Africa would need to capitalise on this excellent position they're in as they were attacking. And like Natalie said, they were trying to push the puck underneath the body, getting another player into position and putting a lot of pressure on Australia there. And South Africa coming down, a lot of bodies down the bottom. Obviously, they'll try and be patient, swim it into the corner, draw the Australian players to follow them, and then just get it into the centre. A good flick there, good protection. South Africa swimming hard at the bottom. Excellent there. That's the only way you can play underwater hockey if you're in the bottom of the pool, not on top, Natalie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they'll be saying, come on, Goose, it's time to buzz the tower. It's time to sweep it across in front of goals and pop it in. But Hein, spot on. You can't be a spectator on the surface in this sport. You need to, if you're tired, you sub out. But these girls have done their fitness work, and we expect them to be on the bottom. Even if they're not on the puck, if they're on the bottom, they're drawing players to them and creating the spaces.
Yeah, especially if the game is so tight. You know, when the puck can go anyway, left or right, and if you're in the right position at the bottom, you can capitalise on it. So you try and obviously get the puck onto the stick of your player with you, but it doesn't always happen. As a hard play there by Callista, and I see Callista and Helen, two of our senior players in this tournament, causing some infringement there. I think it's sometimes overexcitement, and they want to lead their players with dignity, but they sometimes commit infringements, and they need to calm down and just get their composure together. Good draw there, and Australia doing very, very well there, Natalie.
Yeah, it was a nice little kind of zigzag in the pool, but she probably didn't have the support. They weren't, there was a space there, and the South Africans were managed to pluck it out, to pick the grape off the bush and take it to the wall. So again, we've got more South Africans at the moment. Oh no, looks like a 2-on-2, trying to pull it out, the Australians, to regroup. And the ref's playing advantage, so seen an infringement from the Africans, I presume. From the Australians, and but they've still got possession, so he'll keep the play going. And this is a really nice passage of play.
No, it's good to see our small little Olivia getting involved there with her left hand, and Australia intercepted, and they're swimming out to the far side in the middle of the pool. Australia just couldn't follow up there, because we had. So Australia created a lot of space there for them, Natalie, and they should have had bodies down there. They could have drawn a lot of meters there. Yeah,
absolutely. It looked like Gabby. I can just tell by her style. She's pretty slick through the water. But, yeah, look, if you can't see anyone in front of you, keep possession, curl it, a nice little pullback, and advantage there has so stick infringement, a bit of chopping the fruit and the veggies, a warning, pushing these girls back.
Yeah, that was a pity, Natalie, because we could see them getting on the go there. We could see them, like you rightly said, they weren't swimming with the puck far ahead of them. They had puck control, and they could draw it back, getting the South African player offside there and pulling two players out of the play and then swinging it to the right. But unfortunately, infringement there. And we see a lot of people in the live chat, and thank you for joining us in the live chat here. A lot of plays been taking place on this side of the pool here, and on the substitution side, we haven't seen lots of play on the far side of the pool, where we see a lot of play taking place earlier today.
Exactly. It makes our job easier, doesn't it, when it's on this side of the play. So the girls, they'll be feeling 7 minutes to go in the first half. This is where they start to just feel that little bit of fatigue, because all that adrenaline has been used up, and you'd think if the play stopped, one of the coaches would call a timeout, give the girls a bit of time just to have a few deep breaths and listen to a few pearls of wisdom from the coach.
Yeah, no, 8 minutes gone, it was going on 9 minutes gone in the first half, and South Africa pushing the Australians back into the half there, and a good turn there by the South African player, a lot of pressure on her. Yeah, the Australians are capitalising on the fact that South Africa didn't have support there. They should have followed up, and a good flick there, and right onto the stick of the Australian player. Unfortunately,
it was nice.
Stopping the puck.
Unlucky.
Bad luck, Australia there. Number 5, they're doing very, very well.
Yeah, Emma Horak. Yeah. So thanks, Jimmy. Come on, Aussie. We've got Roger. Timeout for South Africa. Good call, coach. Of course, Chris Wenman will come in and talk to his girls as well. But you've got quite a bit of support there back from South Africa. What time is it there?
No, the guys have been up earlier, Natalie. It's 5:30, going on to 5:30. But South Africa has played 2 previous games, so the guys are all up and awake and following this, as we see a a lot of support from the pavilion side there, Natalie, with obviously Australia getting a lot of home support here.
Yeah, look, I'm just looking over on the top of the water there, and we've been watching with great interest all the different inflatables that people have been putting their water bottles in. And a lot of teams have let us down and just gone the old stolen milk crate. But I can see Sharky McSharkface with looks like kind of some kind of hat or something on. But Gerald, is it Gerald? I like Sharky McSharkface, but I'll go with Gerald. He's over there just chilling. The girls probably give him a little bit of a touch and a bit of a woohoo squeeze before they go out, and gives them a bit of luck. So we're just all dropping to the bottom, ready for this free.
Yeah, South Africa having the advantage puck here right on Australians' back, and they're swimming straight to the middle. They didn't allow or do any jinx. They just swam right in front of the Australian players, and the Australian players absorbing it and just taking it to the corner, and South Africa causing infringement there. But Gerald has done a good job, but I don't know if you've seen his eyes. They're quite intimidating. He was looking to him, and he's taking a lot of information in, Gerald. He's he's actually got a number 15.
Number 15, he's got the googly eyes. He's pretty intense. I challenge those girls to just draw a beard onto him and then just complete that look, because we all know that there's nothing more intimidating than coming up against a big swaying beard in the water. Especially, we're talking the men's team, obviously.
Yeah, no, we've got instruction here, and a warning against number 5, who just now had a good breakaway, and unfortunately causing infringements, and number 5 needs to be careful. South Africa are right on the face of the Australian goal box, getting numbers down, and Australia, like we said, they've only conceded 20 goals, and South Africa conceded 7 goals, and the goal difference 34 for South Africa, 26 for Australia. So there's a very close contest with the first game 1-0 for South Africa and 1-1 in the second game of the round robin.
Yeah, we've got a stick foul, so Aussie's just having a little clap at the stick there. She's thinking, yep, we can capitalise on this. We can run this puck up the pool and go for a bit of see a bit of fin candy as those girls accelerate. Now, the South Africans there, we've got the leading goal scorers for them at the moment is Liz Van Ryn and Danielle Wenzel. And for the Australians, it's, let me see, we have Katarina Alleyway and Natalie Iredale leading goal scorers. So number 7, I just worded, we've got Lily Ladd-McGovern out for a dangerous flick, and she'll be definitely sucking it in and trying to refocus her thoughts. She's not happy. She's shaking the head.
She really not happy. It's not a nice place to be playing for, going for goal there. And it's interesting, Lisa scored 11 goals, Natalie, the top scorer. And the Australian girl also scoring 11 goals, and the second top scorer 8, and the Australian 7. So you can see it's very, very even here with top players playing in this tight competition. And in this game is not going to be easy. We've seen some games going into extra time. And let's see what happens in this game on today.
Yeah, we've had a few games that have gone for 45, 46 minutes, and I can tell you the mouth gets a bit dry and your jaw gets a bit tired, Hein, but it's all good. We love doing it.
Yeah, a free puck going for Australia's side, and they'll take that with only 5 players in the water. And that player, I think she was forced to sit 2 minutes on the side. And South Africa obviously want to stay in the position where they're in with 4 minutes gone. And we haven't had a timeout called by the Australian coach yet, Natalie.
No, we haven't. And 4 minutes remaining there, Hein. I think he probably one of the Chris's will call a timeout next break in play, because something's got to give. They've got to. They're just counteracting each other's style of play so closely. If we look to the other 2 teams, New Zealand versus Colombia, they'll be having a playoff in a little bit, and they'll be looking. So New Zealand finished first, Colombia finished 4th, and these teams are all so even.
It's definitely a well-balanced competition. This with nobody running away in any league. And it's open for any winner. It just depends now on your heart and your spirit and your commitment. And, small little mistakes can cost you this game, as we don't see a big score in any of these games. It's 0-0 with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Hein, I really like what you said there, because I know I say quite a lot myself. It's those mistakes. It's the mistakes that will lose you the game, So the training and the prep and we've got a timeout called from Australia, which there we go. It's a good time, because we want to break that double donut there, that goose egg, the 0-0. We want that to blossom into a big, a bit of a scoreline, big bunch of candy.
Double donut. I haven't heard that yet. I'm getting so much information from you guys with all your knowledge, Natalie. You've played so many world competition and been in this situation. You must be feeling for these girls.
Yeah, look, when I started though, we didn't have the age group, of course, because the fourth, the under-19s and under-23s didn't exist. But definitely been in this situation in many a final at World Champs, and it's not easy. It's really tough, and I think your mental preparation and your mental state is the thing that makes the difference. And if you've got a positive mindset and you can keep your act together, that really does make the difference.
Yeah, interesting. You saw the coach of Australia not using all his time. He just 25 seconds and he swam back. So he said what he wants to say. He got his message over, and now the girls must do what the message was.
Yeah.
See JD taking all his time as the game is about to start on the far side of the pool. All the players down at the bottom, and it's just up and down, up and down. Let's see if the puck can pop out here, and we could get some movement going. And we want them to play this side, Natalie.
Yeah, that's right. And while it's over there, I just wanted to talk very briefly about Stewie. Stewie's the amphibian that we've seen the New Zealanders bringing to the pool today, bringing to the game. And Stewie consists of a blow-up frog with the most amazing eyes. He sits on a kind of a pram-like structure with wheels, so he can not only go, team's full strength now, but he can go land and sea while holding their beverages and refreshments for the game. So top job, New Zealand, and that might give you the edge against Colombia. But I have yet to see what. Okay. So let's get back to the game, and then I'll tell you a bit more about Colombia's container for their water bottles.
Yeah, as another goal sitting out. So it's again 5 on 6 here. With South Africa need to capitalise on the fact that there are only 5 players in the water. So it's Emma Horak. Oh, sorry, Emma for that. Number 4. Sitting on the side there, South Africa have been in the fortunate position, not causing serious infringements. And a lot of conversation taking place on the live chat there from South Africa. A lot of support there as well. As we know that the 23 girls are here, the 23 men are here, and the 19 men are here. They're all supporting this very, very good team from South Africa. And South Africa do not want to lose their position for defending gold, Natalie.
No, that's right. And so I'll just quickly correct my call for the person in the timeout, the girl in the timeout. The sin bin, Natalie Iredale, number 4. So she's got a bit of time to have a breather and refocus. And let's hope when she gets in the water, she does. She waves some magic, waves the magic wand, and produces some pretty fine candy.
Yeah, South Africa playing right in the middle of the pool. And what's nice is South Africa players pop, but the one Australian girl, we just didn't get a name or number, just stayed down. And then the puck came to her, and she swam it straight to the side. Well played there, the Australian girl.
Okay, so Australian free in front of the sub bench, and we've got a minute to go in this half, and it's still, the drought hasn't broken. These girls have got to add water and make this score grow. Yeah, no, it can happen any time. There's a lot of pressure on Australia. I think this will go into halftime probably with 2 donuts on the scoreboard. Yeah, nice work, Hein. So the Australians pumping it up that wall. They will look at bringing it across, which is just what she's done. She could probably have done a little tight curl there and look for some support from behind. This is good. Advantage being played. Dragging it right across the pool. Nice work.
Well,
the Africans going with her.
Allowed there.
Beautiful, beautiful play.
And Australia hasn't been in this position, so
20 seconds.
South Africa realised the pressure here.
25 seconds. The ref's call.
Sure.
Yeah, slicing the salami.
South Africa, but goes against the referee timeout. Well, let's see what they discuss here. If we have 3 pairs of eyes, and they will definitely have time to discuss this. And they're looking over to the chief ref.
Oh, someone's out.
Sure, hard on the attack there in Australia.
So Anika Keel, 1 minute out.
No, okay, the referees will have a discussion here as they rightfully do, because they need to make good, clean decisions, as this is a vital game for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I haven't seen the cross leg action in the sim bin before. She looks pretty composed there, looking pretty glamorous. I suppose it's always nice to bring a bit of glam to the naughty chair. I suppose you got to do something. And now I can see his eyes and his teeth there. So excellent. We've got number 7, South Africa. Okay. So just a little warning, a little bit of a tap on the shoulder and keep it clean.
Yeah, and number 7, Kendra Langston, the sister of Olivia, one of our youngest players. Olivia, the left-handy, she's a small little girl, but she turns so well, and she's got such breath hold. If you look at these small players, you think, how the heck do they stay down so long? But some other reason, they just can keep their breath, and they can keep their body position down at the bottom. Australia will need to capitalise here, because this is the first time they've been in this excellent
Yeah,
position.
this is good. And
Ah,
that's
it's a goal.
in the tray with 1 second to go. Bam, bam. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent play, Australia.
Number 13 or 3? 13.
Excellent.
Katarina alleyway. The crowd's going wild. One half of the crowd's going wild. One half are pretty
With
quiet.
1 second to go. It just shows you it was excellent play there from Australia. Good in putting a lot of pressure on South Africa. South Africa thinking that the halftime would save them, but obviously not. Well done, Australia.
Yeah, so thanks very much for Hydro Underwater Hockey. If you want some candy for underwater hockey, you want the fin candy, glove candy, stick candy, and face and head candy, go to the website hydrounderwaterhockey.com. Talk to Liam, and Liam Watson and his wife Danny can sort you out. So $550 from them for the putting money in the bucket for this live streaming, all the stuff that goes along with that. Our target should be is $10,000, and we're well on the way to that. Yeah, so we've also got, there's the GoFundMe.com / Oh, we're up to 4,500. That's fantastic. Hobart 2017. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the old the receptacles of the water bottles, and New Zealand have trotted up, made a big effort, gone to the op shop, spent the $2 and got Stewie the frog, the amphibian, the craft over there, and he looks resplendent. That could give them the edge, because Colombia, well, they've just gone with the old milk crate with a few noodles haphazardly placed around. The challenge is out there for the next Junior World Championships to come with an idea in mind, come with a theme, make it work, because sometimes a little pat and a squeeze of your little mascot can make the difference, Hein.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's interesting to see that the South African player in the water there, Ska, also wants to be involved, not playing, but she just wants to be there and just experience it, as it's the first Worlds tournament. And JD needs to talk. As we were in attack the whole time, we couldn't capitalise. We allow Australia into our half for 1 minute, and they score a goal in the last second. I just want to do a shout out here, as we have got a request here from all the other 23 girls on the pavilion. Hello, give us a shout out. It's Uncle Hein. Okay, a shout out for the 23 girls. We're playing later this afternoon at 1700 against Colombia. So thank you for your support. Under 23 girls, go.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a big day here at the Doone Kennedy Hobart Aquatic Centre. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 games today. So that's another double figure hour day today. And speaking of figures, we have so many views on YouTube. We've got over 500,000 minutes being viewed, 1 year and 68 days. Oh, I think that'd be way over that now, because they were the stats this morning. 16% for Colombia, Australia and Argentina, and followed closely by New Zealand and Great Britain. And if you've got a few, I think that's the stats from the other before. Yeah, so fantastic. I love the comments. Freckles, get it back, girls. Freckles. Oh, yeah, okay, nice. All right, so we're away. We've got start of play. Oh, and we've got an update of stats. No, I think that was this morning as well.
Yeah. And, I think South Africa were 6 in the water and Australia 5 when they conceded that goal, as we still got somebody in the sin bin there from Australia. And Australia, again, hard on the attack. Australia in the middle of the pool. So South Africa will need to start playing from this position where they're in. As I can imagine what's happening back in South Africa, 6:45, 20 to 6 in the morning. So you'll have to put something in that coffee, and hopefully it can help the girls this side, guys. So let's get going, South Africa, as the ref comes into an excellent position and playing far side of the pool there. And the ref goes up. No, it's still advantage there. Good play there by the players as well.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah, South Africa are pushing Australia back, but they're not allowing it. And
we've got everyone in the water again now.
Yeah, so she's back in the water. We've got 6 on 6, and we're looking forward to a beautiful hockey for the next 15 minutes.
And out for a minute. We've got out for a minute. Number 1, Samantha Black. Oh, no, for South Africa. I think that's 7.
Number 7, that was Keandra. I think she was warned earlier on for infringement. So obviously good call there by the referees, as Keandra is asked to sit on the side, and her dad is here as a ref and her mom is in the pavilion.
Oh, is that so?
So guys, give her something and calm her down.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they want to calm her down, because quite often we see someone come in from the sin bin and they find something deep down in their socks and manage to pull something out and work some magic up the pool. So hopefully she can get in and do that for the Africans and level the scores. Australia now have the free up in South Africa's defence, and they'll really want to nail this home with a second goal. and that makes it also much harder for South
Yeah,
Africa.
no, you could see those Australian girls taking it, and they immediately swam into position, even though South Africans were still wondering what's going on. And down the Australian girls go into position. Unfortunately for South Africa, they capitalised on the fact that Australia couldn't keep possession on the far side of the pool, and South Africa need to get out of this position very, very, very quickly.
And another hug me, too close, too much touching going on. You know, there's South African free. You know, hold that hug too long, it gets awkward, and that's when you get the fouls called.
Yeah, Kendra taking up a position there on the side of the pool, and she'll get in very shortly, and there'll be 6-on-6, and South Africa need to score. They can't allow Australia to score. It's very difficult to come back from 2-0, and let's get that donut to a 1, guys, to a lollipop.
Oh, love it, absolutely. And Zandra, thanks for having you on board. Eleanor de Kock and Conrad Wynett, thanks for supporting us here and supporting your girls, because, you know, the home crowd advantage, I'm just looking up at the stands, Hein, and it's just bulging at the seams, lots of green and gold for the Aussies.
Yeah, obviously having the home turf advantage. Good play there from Australia and South Africa. They were trying to create space, trying to swim wide, and getting space going and wanting to open up this game, as that's the way you will score goals, not just by playing very bashing hockey. And they come over to the middle of the pool, advantage back for South Africa. Let's see what they can do as they flick it to the side of the pool. Helen coming down, and Helen, one of our key players,
very
obviously
strong.
a very strong player, and she's still swimming, and she must keep on. Yeah, good play there as Australia coming down. 2-3 players from Australia needing to stop Helen. Let's see how far we can get here with the ref getting into a position. You see the Hydro Underwater Hockey, a big sponsor of $550. Thank you for that. And that leads Africa, the first time in the second half, South Africa is in the half of Australia. Well done.
Yeah, and they're using their strength. It looks like that might be something that the coach has said. Let's use our strength, girls. We've got it. We seem to make ground when it's on the wall. Maybe the Australians are a little bit slighter or haven't quite got as much strength behind the puck. They might be a bit more dangerous out in the open. So the South Africans are using their strength. And again, look at that. Going for that wall option. Nice tight curl. And now she looks like she's trying to open it up.
Yeah, no, good playing to the back. They were playing backwards to create space, and that was a good move by South Africa. Call, unfortunately, against South Africa. Play obstruction, hugging. Number 4, Olivia, that's a sister of Keandra. Oh, no. Come on, the guys there in the pavilion, the parents watching, they will need to give them something.
Absolutely. Give them a bit of curry, that's for sure. Bit of spice. So Australia had the puck doing the drive. The South African girl got it, looked to curl, and the Australian was still down there, plucked it back off, and now looking to keep the possession in Australia and keep that drive. South Africans have got the possession back again. Cool and calm as a cucumber. She swam it back and waited for support. And this is just really tough hockey. Something's got to give, and I'm hoping the Australians can score another goal. But
no, what's interesting as well, Australia had players out in the first half, and South Africa didn't capitalise on that situation as the Australian girls are doing. Every time when South Africa gets a player out, they just play much harder. As we have advantage player, good player at the bottom of the pool, and the advantage player.
Oh, here we go. And someone else has just made the list. Emma Horak, you are on the list. She has 1 minute. Absolutely. Yeah, good.
Good timeout earlier in the second half. Not like in the second half. Not like the first half. They waited till 11 minutes was passed before they called it. And was it called by J.D. Okamp, the South African coach? Okay, J.D., you need to pull your trump cards as this is your last timeout. And I think you'll be talking Afrikaans, and hopefully you got some good information in from Gerald the Shark.
Yeah, this isn't it. Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to use him. He's there, and I'm sure he's seeing a lot of the. Actually, no, he's facing the wrong direction, old Gerald. Might need to turn him around. Okay. So number 3, South Africa. For just information at home, we've got Nina Adams just having a little treatment there, and she's back in the water, which is good. Now, this is really dangerous. This is such a dangerous time after a timeout. Quite often you see the team that's called the timeout score a goal. So the Australians, they cannot relax. And your mental state is that you kind of just ease off a little bit. No way. You've got to go out, 110%.
Yeah, no, South Africa definitely want to play up on the left side of the wall there. And I think Australia has watched some of our games and obviously read it and know where to where to counteract South Africa. As you see, Helen coming down the side, and they put 3 players to counter it, and they take it. As we have a ref timeout here, and let's see what the discussion will be. And I think okay, so they're swimming out to the chief ref. So something was seen there, and let's see what it says. As Olivia prepares to get in the water, but she will just have to wait for a second. And you can see the captain, Callista Pake, talking, and look at the coach here from Australia getting his team closer. South Africa free puck from an equal puck to a free puck, and let's see what South Africa can do here. Will they still swing it up on the side of the wall and swim it straight before they create space? You can see Helen taking up a position here, and South Africa goes down. No players between the Australian players.
Full strength, so South Africa full strength. And at this part of the game, this is where you need to roll up your sleeves, pull up your socks, reef up your bathers, and pull something out that lifts the whole team and really inspires your teammates.
Yeah, no, we see a good turn there from South Africa, swimming backwards around the Australian player and then drawing 2 players in before they straighten it up. And South Africa will need to work it up straight in the middle of the pool, open up the channel and see if they can get it closer to the goal, because they not really, doesn't seem they're really attacking the goal. They're trying to create advantage of territory before they go into the goal box. And a call against South Africa, unfortunately, as they were getting into the danger area.
Yeah, look, and you speak about the danger area. The danger zone is obviously the goals, and there is a highway to those goals. So take that highway to the danger zone, and a number. Yep. So we've.
Danielle Wenzel, obviously, yeah, unfortunately we've got 1 player out again, and like we said, every time South African player goes out, the Australians just capitalise it, and they just get the bodies down, and they try and get the overlap as we're playing 5 against 6, a big flick there onto the Australian stick as they're still getting movement going, and South Africa just absorbing the pressure and swinging it out to the right-hand side as we get support from the back. Australia doing very well there with following up. Good play there, Australia.
Yeah, it's a real ding-dong battle. I wouldn't be able to call, Hein, which team has well, I mean, the scoreline says that it's Australia, but it's anybody's game. These teams are so well matched. Their stats are almost identical. Advantage has been played. So South Africa, this is looking good. I like the way they're setting up. There's a lot of defence for Australia sitting on the inside of play, stopping that cross, which is where they want to be. So we've got some fresh legs in for Australia, and it looks like it's probably going to come back down this wall again, Hein.
Yeah, no, Natalie, we've had a tight game with the 19 men against Colombia, and now again, it's not good for me as we see South Africa coming into position, trying to get it out to their wing there. And South Africa still swimming. Well, we've had good play from South Africa, but unfortunately we just cannot get to the danger zone. They're just keeping us there as we play in front of the substitution box. You can see small little Olivia coming down, trying to create space with Danielle behind her and Sky Boshoff kicking hard. Yeah,
and if it's interesting, you look at these 2 backs here, Hein, when it comes down the wall, they both switch to a reverse tackle, which is more of a defensive move. What they probably need to do is that off half needs to sit forward and say, give it to me, get it across to me, because I've got the whole other side of that pool. Now, this is a good drive. It's the closest probably that they've been, and yeah, doing those tight curls, but Australia again swimming it out. Nice number 8.
Yeah, lovely number 8 there. As unfortunately we get an infringement here, and that number 7 again, Keandra. So they're definitely doing something wrong, and that won't be on purpose, as Keandra was
she's only a little
very
girl too.
good girl example at school. She was the head girl, and she's now studying veterinary science at the University of Pretoria. I just got it wrong there. It wasn't Sky Boshoff. She's sitting on the side. It was Nina Adams doing a good swim there down the side, but they look the same as number 3 again. Nina coming down. And let us see what South Africa can do here.
Foul,
with only 5 players in the water.
Look, all this stop-starting. The girls are getting a chance to breathe. Like their legs, they will be still feeling pretty pumped and full of energy, because they've had lots of stops, time to actually suck it in, and I want them to use their legs a little bit more. I'd like to see them use the space and go for some swims. This butting heads and just pushing into each other, it's not really getting the result that they want.
No, it's not what we've seen from both teams. Both teams like to play open hockey. They like to get clean hockey and get space going. And after this, New Zealand is playing against Colombia, so let's see what's going to happen here as South Africa get pushed back. And again, good turn there by Nina, number 3, well played there. But look at that, 1, 2, 3 Australians against the poor Nina. She can't do it on her own.
No.
Good play
Nice
there.
cross.
Oh, yes, beautiful cross there.
Oh, I'm trying to slide it out there.
Excellent play. There's 2-3. Look at the New
Oh,
Zealand players coming down again.
That was great.
Great save there.
Oh, yep. Okay. She probably should have kept on swimming, I think.
Yeah, no, Olivia should have kept on there.
It's always tempting, though. You see that big space ahead of you and you think, oh, my goodness, I've got to do this all on my own. And you get tempted to go into the middle too early. Big rookie error. You've just got to suck it in and take that space, because your whole team can go to the surface, get a breath, and get a chance to get behind you.
Natalie, I'm also watching the stopwatch with 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go. So Africa haven't put enough pressure on Australia to convert the pressure into a goal. And Australia are just absorbing it. And look at them playing now. They're just playing freely.
Hey, this is good. Australia are looking a little bit sharper at the moment, Hein. I think there's just been a little turning point in the game. Nice little steal. I think she just came in a sub bench and she's just plucked it off.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the call is there. Advantage against Africa.
Oh, gee.
I think that was against Danielle. As she came in from the rear, we thought it was a clean take, but obviously she infringed there with a clean takeoff for not making it as clean as the refs thought, as we have substitution taking place. And I think they're 6 against 6 again, as all players are on the water.
Yeah, look, that top view is fantastic on those frees. You can see the way that they're all setting up. We've got 12 in that little space, and it looks like it's away.
That looked like a very good move.
Oh, gee, ruthless refs. Yeah, okay.
Well, the ref
Clench
was
the
in a
fist.
good position there, but we still 1-0 down, girls. We've still got a donut against a lollipop. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, if we can capitalize on the fact that the ref saw gloving. It was a good move there by Australia. They drew 3 players, and South Africa went to the center of the bin. They came down the side here. We got a ref timeout. Australia timeout. Let's see what Chris will say to his players.
Yeah, look, I wish we could have a timeout too, Hein. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat here, and all these games are so tight, and even with a scoreline of 0-1, it can turn so quickly, and if it does turn really quickly, gosh, it's hard to bounce back after that. The South African girls, well, they've got to come up with something now, and they possibly could, because as we see, they finished second in the standings. So, you know, they were only just behind New Zealand. Australia were finishing third. So South African girls are going to have to dig deep, put their hand in their flippers and find something special.
Yeah, if you look at the log as well, the information that we get here, such good information we're getting, it just makes it so much easier. And the whole league of the under-19, the only draw that there was between these two teams. So it's very close with 6 seconds, 5 seconds to go, and the coaches are out. South Africa on the defense here. On the attack, because we were saved by gloving infringement there. Luckily, South Africa playing up against the wall to the substitution side. Australia will be very happy to stay in that position with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, 3 minutes is an awfully long time, though. You can't just be playing defensive for 3 minutes, because something will give. You need to switch it to the attack and keep on capitalising, because the more you attack, the more you get it onto the opposition's defence, and it puts that pressure on them, and there's bound to be a mistake.
Yeah, you know, you saw Australia scoring with 1 second left in the first half. So let's see what happens here with South Africa. Doesn't need to concentrate so much on the watch. They need to concentrate on their playing skills and their techniques and start getting it going. Advantage, let's see. Advantage is being called. Let's see if it's for South Africa. Illegal knockdown as number 8, who saved us for the second goal there. I think it was Sharky just helping us there, or Gerald.
Yeah, look at the way they're setting up there. Nothing to lose now. They've got to open it up. They've got to drag the Australians across. There's no point playing defensive or safe hockey now, because with 2 minutes to go, middle of the pool, this is anyone's game. The team that wins is the one that's going to take the bull by the horns and do something special.
Yeah, no, we were trying to create space by swimming backwards, and we didn't protect the player. We just opened it up for the Australian players to come down here on us, as we get another good move by the Australian players. An excellent flick, good position where the Australian player was on the inside of the pool there.
Yeah, so the advantage has been played again. This game has had so many stop-starts. It's like, you know, someone with the hiccups. It's just this bumpy ride. But still playing advantage, David? Oh, advantage over. All right, so everyone's just digging their shoulders in there. It's not pretty hockey to watch. The South Africans just rolling down that wall, And Australia presenting a pretty good defence. She just did a little loose flick out there, which could have actually worked against her because the South African girl was set up nicely. But look at all those green bathers. It's just like, seaweed just wrapping all over everyone.
Advantage being played. Let's capitalise. I think the advantage of South Africa is they come down with numbers here. The call was made. The game's been stopped. And I see here Willem Zylstra, he doesn't like the green caps because he thinks the green is benefiting Australia.
1 minute.
1 minute against South Africa. Australia.
Oh, danger, Will Robbins. Hein, this is getting
okay,
going
let's
right
see
down
what's
to the
going to
wire.
happen here. South Africa has never actually put so much pressure on Australia when there were only 5 in the water. So hopefully we can realise there are 5 in the water. Let's pull 2 into the game and let's create space. We can get an overlap here, South Africa.
Okay, well,
another call being made here. Against South Africa, as you see the girls from Australia clapping with very little time to go. We've got 1 minute 30 seconds. 1 minute 30 seconds to go. South Africa, let's capitalise on the fact that there's still 5 players in the water, even though it's against you. Don't get frenzied, just get your composure. And they swim up on the side of the pool here. And the ref's just watching. Let's see if we get numbers down at the bottom. Hopefully the puck can come out. I know the Australian girls are just not allowing South Africa to get the puck off the wall and play it into the centre of the pool.
45 seconds to go, and we've got 10 countries at this age championships. There were 8 countries at the previous one, and 2 lots of 6 countries at the first 2 were age championships. We expect at Sheffield to have at least 14, 15, 16 countries being in the Northern Hemisphere. So these girls want to finish off well, finish high in the seedings. It's the future for these girls is so bright. They've got the under-23s they can work through before they even get to the elites. So 19 seconds to go. The Aussies will just want to hold this in now, and they're right near their sub-bench, which works in their favour.
Well done to Australia. You know, they played well. You know, even the team that wins here, the worst they can do is go for silver. So well done here as we go. South Africa attack hard, you know. Unfortunately not, and that is it.
Oh, wow. That's a wrap,
guys. We're going to have a new world champion. South Africa was world champion, so a new world champion will be at this 2017 World Championships. Thank you for your support, guys. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it this time, but we'll come back firing.
Yeah, look, that's amazing. So South Africa, like you said, last World Championships. Thanks, Hein. That's brilliant. Oh, with the mic.
Yeah.
All right, go and see the girls. Okay, thanks everyone for watching the stream.